This podcast contains strong language and discussions about relationships, sex, and love. It may not be suitable for younger listeners. This is the Can't Keep My Mouth Shut podcast, and I am Nixalina. Hello, happy Monday evening. Welcome back to my podcast. It's me, Nixalina. Hello, hi. That's me saying hi to all of you at the same time. Hi. Like we're all in a room together, which is weird. Okay, moving on. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about first dates. Specifically, 10 tips of mine that will help you ace your first date. Now, before I do ramble on with my incredibly awesome 10 tips, I think we should at least explain why first dates need these kind of tips. Because honestly, if we're real, first dates are fucking scary. Like, don't we all think they're like terrifying? I am, as we know, quite an outgoing, confident, dominant woman, and I still freak out about first dates. Like, panic. It's like cold sweat panic. I will be really on edge beforehand. Like, should think, I want to eat. I need to eat something, but I'm too nervous. And what if I have something in my teeth? Or what if I randomly split my dress open? Or what if I knock a drink over? Or I fall over? Honestly, all the thoughts go through my head prior to a first date. And I get really nervous. And I feel like that's a lot of how most of us approach first dates. And it doesn't matter whether you have multiple first dates a week or you've only had a first date in the last 6 months, like once. I don't think the frequency matters. It's still nerve-wracking meeting someone new, especially if on paper you quite like that person. That makes it even worse, right? Sometimes it's so much easier if it's like a blind date. Or someone you've been introduced to for a friend and you've already hung out at a party or whatever, then that's an easier first date. But ones where it's like, I don't know, you met on a dating app or you met on Instagram or TikTok or whatever, and then you agree to meet up, it's a thing. It's a really scary thing. But more so, what's even scarier is trying to make sure you ace your first date. You want to see this person again, right? You want them to want to see you again. And you want to make sure they leave the first date being like, oh my God, I just met a fucking keeper. Unless you're going on a first date just to, blow and go or, get done in the back or whatever it is you want to do, then that's fine. Not really the first date idea that I have in mind. If it is just sex related, then don't worry about listening to the rest of this episode because you'll probably end up getting laid whichever way you do. This is for the people that actually want the first date to go into a second, to a third, to a fourth, to a fifth, to a cheeky little Instagram story holding hands soft launch, into a cheeky Instagram tile hard launch. Oh, hey, here's my boo. That's what you want? Let's listen to this and get involved. Okay, first date tip number 1. Don't be too eager before the actual date. It is so off-putting when someone's too much too soon. It's so off-putting. Honestly, so off-putting. Even if the person on the receiving end, really wants something stable and secure, I'm so ready to settle down, even that person can be just put off by someone who's too much, too soon, too eager before you've even met. It's nice that you're excited. It's nice that you want to invest. It's nice that you're showcasing your interest. Don't be too eager before the actual date. Try and minimize the conversation. Keep it flowing, keep it interesting, but you don't want a fucking verbal diarrhea on WhatsApp before you've even met each other. It comes off as slightly desperate, slightly needy, and it also takes away that exciting, mysterious air about meeting someone in person and, finding out about each other together. Point 2, avoid connecting on social media. Now listen, I know this is a difficult one because if you're meeting guys or girls off dating apps, your go-to is probably, what's your Instagram? What's your TikTok? Because you want to verify that person isn't a catfish, and I totally get that. I'm exactly the same. If someone says I don't do social media, I'm an immediate red flag. So I'm like, because those photos look like almost model shots, and you say you don't have Instagram, I say you're a lying piece of ass. So I do get that you kind of want the social media backup for dating profiles, but I would just totally avoid connecting. I think social media really ruins the air of mystery of first dates, but also it's too much, again, too soon, and you won't realize how much your social media says about you, and it could give the completely wrong impression. Also, online footprint, I can find out so much about someone after I have just one of their social media. It's fucking frightening how good I am. I don't use that superpower often, but when I do, I'm like CIA. So I would say avoid, if you can, swapping the social media before a first date. That's all I'm saying. After first date, knock yourselves out. Just before the first date, try not to. Keep it in just whatever forum or platform you are communicating on until you actually meet up. Point 3, dress appropriately. No, I'm not taking up the role of my mother and telling you all to wear longer skirts. I am simply saying dress appropriately for the date. Are you going to the beach? Are you going for a picnic? Are you going clubbing? Are you going for dinner? Are you going sightseeing? Are you going cycling? Are you going swimming? Are you going bowling? Are you going nowhere? Are you staying in? Are you going out? Whatever you're doing, dress appropriately for the date. Because if you dress inappropriately, it can look a bit odd for the person on the receiving end. Like we going hiking and you're in a dress and what now? You know, you want to make sure that you can match the air of the date that has been created. I'm pretty sure mostly it's dinner, innit, or drinks. And if it's a day, it will be a walk somewhere or a bike ride. But yeah, just dress appropriate for the date itself. That's all I'm asking, you know. Just to make sure you minimize any mishaps and you showcase that you are able to adapt to whatever they have suggested to do or you have suggested to do. Point number 4, don't assume the other person will pay. Don't fucking assume the other person will pay. I know there's this traditional men should pay on the first date. Men should always pay for dates. What about chivalry? I hate it when men don't pay. Listen, I agree. I think men should pay for a first date. I'm down with that. But I don't assume he will. I always offer. And then I can sum up and observe his reaction to me offering. And then I can kind of tell a little bit about his personality. And also when I offer, it's not a fake offer. I'm willing to pay half. I'm half the person I was. I'm half the duo at this table. I'm half of the day. I paid, I've drunk the same, or maybe I've even drunk more. Say I've had way more alcohol or I've ate way more food. I don't think it's fair to assume that someone else then has to stump up like my half. So I'm very happy to pay half. If I like the guy and it's not a first date, side note, I'm also happy to pay full, but usually the good ones don't let me. But I will offer. And let me tell you something. Men appreciate that reach. They appreciate going, oh, yeah, I'd quite like to pay half. And if they go, no, honey, let me get this. You can help out with the next one. Then at least one, you know there's a next one. Score. And 2, you can see the chivalry and you're like, okay, that's cool. And he'll definitely appreciate it. But no one wants a fucking stuck-up duchess. Like, oh my God, you should pay for everything. You're a knob. We don't like you, honey. No, we don't. Point number 5, ask questions and then listen. Ask questions and then listen. Ain't no point asking loads of questions and interrupting or phasing off or going on your phone when he responds or she responds. The whole point of a really good first date is to actually communicate and absorb and get to know that person. So you might have a billion questions that you want to ask or find out, but are you really listening? Are you engaging in anything they say? So rather than just firing off questions like an interview, when they come back, oh yeah, this is what I do. This is like, oh, that's really interesting. Like, what made you get into that? Oh, well, when I was younger, I did this, this, and this, and this. Oh, wow. Like, that's what a memory. So what happened there? Actually engage in what they've said. You think this sounds like basic, but trust me, people don't do it, and it's a priceless move. And it also just makes you a good fucking human. Point 6, don't spill your entire life story. Oversharing isn't cool. So it's riding off the back of, asking questions and then listening. They obviously ask you questions, but this isn't a diatribe of fucking, oh, this is what happened to me since I was 5. We don't need an overshare. It's really good that you two connect in like a deeper way, and I love that kind of early conversation, but we need to not spill our life, like, oh my God, this and this happened to me, and this and this and this, because it does come off as quite an insecure aura. It also comes off as quite an oversharing person with no boundaries. And honestly, I was kind of borderline that way for a while. It just doesn't give a good tone. There is a space to be vulnerable, open and honest without overstepping the mark. And that's where you kind of need to work that out for yourself, what you should and shouldn't share, and try not to just go too hard too soon in date 1. You also want to leave a little bit of mystery for date 2, 3, and 4, and so forth anyway. Point 7, don't look at your phone, don't take a billion selfies, and don't Insta story them. Oh, you're going to laugh. I'm laughing because people are like, Nix, you fucking put your boyfriend up. Like, yeah, I did, but not on date 1. I has been secretly dating. So when I share when we're way past this phase. And that's the thing. That's what I want to say. You can take a billion selfies. You can Insta story them. You can share stuff on your phone together. But when you're past the first date, this is all about acing your first date. You put that phone in your handbag or in your pocket or on the fucking table and don't look at it. The one thing I fucking hate is when someone is like in the middle of a conversation, you watch the other person pick up their phone and you can tell suddenly they're like texting or scrolling and they've just blanked. I want to be like, hello? Sorry, you've tuned out. You heard anything I just fucking said? I think it's so rude. Oh, it is rude. So I think it is fucking rude. And it happens all the time. Stay off your damn fucking phone. It also shows an air of confidence when you're not attached to your phone like a needy little bitch. Like, come on, this maturity here where you can go on a date with someone. And obviously, of course, if you're sharing photos like, here's my cat, she's a prick, I can pick up my phone if they're interested. Like, oh, have you got any photos? That's fine. But not like picking it up halfway through and just tuning out and then going on Insta or like, my cat, and then laughing at something on your cringe, fucking cringe. Stop it. Point 8, try not to get absolutely off your face drunk. I laugh because I'm such a hypocrite, ain't I? Yeah. I don't think in the first week of meeting my boy, I was sober around him. The reason I'm saying this is because I really want you to don't do a Nixalina. I'm the first to put my hands up don't do a Nixalina. Try not to get off your face drunk, okay? I know you want to carry on the night, whatever, to early hours. It just doesn't leave the best impression. There are exceptions, and maybe he might be like, oh, I really want to meet her again after that because I want to see her like sober and that was fun and I like to see that side of her. But I would say err on the side of caution and just try not to get absolutely smashed. Tipsy? Sure. A glass of red or two? Okay. But like jugging shots, which is what I did. Oh, fuck, I'm such a hypocrite. We'll move past this one. I'm just saying try not to. And I say try because I can't fucking do it, so whatever. Point number 9. Try not to have sex on the first date. Now, I'm 50-50 on this one because... No, listen, hold up. I didn't have sex on the first date with my fella, actually. Or the second one, actually. Yeah, I didn't. Let me look back. No, I didn't. The boyfriend before him, yes, I did. The boyfriend before that, no, I didn't. So I think there's a mixed bag. I don't think sex on the first date is as horrendously shameful as it was once before. It also does, if you've had a few drinks or whatever and you're just both really horny, it does get that awkward sexual part out of the way, but it also then does quell that build-up and mystery at the same time. It takes away any of that excitement. It also showcases that you do sleep with someone on the first date. Whether that's going to be seen as a negative in the other person's eyes is up to them. But it just doesn't state long-term material. And that fucking sucks. Because I'm long-term material and I still fucking do it. All right. I'm 50-50. I'm putting this in because I have to. Try not to have sex on a first date. Just wait for number 2 or 3, all right? Second date, all right, move along. Whip those knickers off. I'm going to wrap this up on point number 10. Text them once you're home. No games, please. No games. I believe in a good texting once you're home because it's fucking respectful and I'm a respectful, mature woman. I don't need to wait 3 days or wait till the moon is full or wait till I found a virgin before I can text. I will text and say thank you so much for a lovely evening. If they've paid, I text and say thank you so much for paying. Like, that was really lovely. I would love to see you again. And if you don't want to see him again, you just text and say, thank you so much for this evening. I had, a nice time. If you didn't have a nice time, maybe just block. But if you do want to see this person again, just text when you get home. You can leave it a few hours. Just say thank you for a lovely time. That's it. Short and sweet. But acknowledge that you spent some time together. It's not that difficult, man. And then if it goes from there, it goes from there. Don't do this whole, oh my God, I'm going to wait till they text me first. Nah. We're not 15 anymore. Well, I'm not. Some of you listening might be. And that worries me if you are 15 and listening because no. Anyway, they're my top 10 tips. What do we think? Do you agree? Do you not agree? I'd love to hear your thoughts about sex on the first date. That one I'm interested in. Are you vibing it? Does it put you off? What about if a girl does want to go to a bar and get drunkies? What if you suggest shots and he or she was like, fucking rack 'em up? Does that put you off? Let me know. Slide into my DMs. I am on social media across all platforms at Nixalina, Nixalina. And as always, thank you for listening to this episode. And I look forward to seeing you all next week. Thanks for listening to the Can't Keep My Mouth Shut podcast. Produced and hosted by me, Nixalina, and recorded in the Splice Cast Studios in Singapore. I'm available to listen to on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google, and all major podcast listening apps. Do subscribe to enjoy a new episode every Monday evening. Please do give me a 5-star review. It helps other people also find my podcast. For more content and features to read, you can check out my website, nixalina.com. That's nixalina.com. I'm also on social media. Simply search at Nixalina, Nixalina, to find me. Don't be shy.
Come say hi.